Hey guys, this is Sports Card Man. My name is Vinny Rulo, and I'll be putting out a lot of these videos about sports and things. One of the things I've been working on is a Prizm video, or I should say Prizm research about which players people should be buying this year for basketball. I kind of did OG Uenobi. I kind of pointed him out to buy his silver a couple weeks ago. But this is my more extensive research. So I'm gonna kind of get into that and what I found and things like that. Just here, sorry. There's like a little bit of a kind of like bear with me a little bit. Okay. So basically, what I did was I broke all the players down into tiers. It's one of the things I look also, and I'll get into that if I have time for in this video a little bit about that. But basically, for this, I did the research on all the Prism Silver rookies. Probably almost around 130 players that have a silver rookie. It's not going to have anyone from this year's class yet, obviously, because they're not out yet. So what I did was I put guys in tier $1 and up, guys in tier 2 that sell for less than 1,000 and no lower than 500. Tier 3 is like I think around less than 300 or less than 500 and no lower than 300. Tier 4 is less than about 300 and no lower than like I think one. And then tier 5 would be probably players that are under 100 and lower. And then tier 6 would be guys that are $50 and lower based on their PSA 10. A little bit, and I did PSA 9 ungraded BGS 9 on this section, what their value was in September. Some of them are from October, not all of them. What is and what their PSA 10 value is. And you more so want to do a pair and contrast based on, who you think should be better than this person and, who you think is a better investment, better than this. And you kind of just have to tell yourself, look, this person should be more than this person, or do you think, this guy's a better guy than this person? It's more so you're just comparing and finding the true value and like who's a good buy and who's not, and telling yourself, okay, this guy is overvalued, this guy's so I made the graph here just overvalued, undervalued, already increased. So I think Simmons is really overvalued right now at 1,400 in the silver. They suddenly have gone up like $600. Why I wouldn't recommend buying him. I'm not a believer in him, but that's kind of like the one guy I don't personally think he's a good investment at what his market is. So if I didn't mark him, it doesn't mean I didn't zero them in on everybody. But I'll get into some guys specifically. So one guy I like in tier 2 is definitely Devin Booker at 250. I think he has a lot of upside to like go up to like 300 or 350 this year. Especially if he can stay healthy. Definitely, if you can get him for 250, I'd recommend buying him. The already increased people like are guys that have gone up in value compared to what I have them down as. Like my Embiid, I sold for 310 recently. So, and I think that was like not fees or anything. That was like a true 310. So like Kemba Walker, he's another one. I think if you compare him to Damian Lillard, they're in the same year, 2012. I mean, I would rather buy Kemba Walker for 300 than 512, and I like Damian Lillard a lot. It's just I think you got a better chance to make money on Kemba Walker than you do for Lillard this season actually. Two, because like I said, I only have minutes because I'm recording my screen and using some program. So we're about 5 minutes in so far. I like Karl Anthony Towns at 85. That same card was like 150-ish last year, and I think they can get back to that this year. He just has to have, I mean, from 85 right now, they might be 100. I'm not sure. I've been watching a lot of postseason baseball of the Yankees. So I didn't study everybody, and some of these might be old. So if they are, I apologize. Like for example, I know Tatum and Mitchell are probably a lot higher right now. I think those can potentially hit. Tatum could probably hit like 2.25 this year, and I think Mitchell can probably hit like 170, 180. So those are both good. I do like D'Angelo Russell a lot with the Warriors, with Durant gone and now Thompson hurt. I think he's gonna put up a ton of shots, and he'll have some big games around the season. He's a guy that probably going to hit 125 this year, ungraded. And like I said, just because I don't point out the 9.5 buys, just like these buys are probably the ones that I would buy. So I wouldn't recommend buying people if like I wasn't comfortable buying it. So I want to see people do well, and that's why I'm making this video, just to kind of help people and things like that. I wouldn't recommend buying Brandon Ingram at 220. I don't really like his game. I think he's really overrated. I would stay away at that price for him. Kuzma, I do like a lot with the Lakers. I think they're going to be really good this year, and he's probably the third option on that team. Davis. Trae Young, he's already gone up a lot, but I still think he could go up more. It just he has to have some good games. I think his silver probably hits like 175 this year, ungraded. PSA 10, maybe it might hit 400. It would just depend, So there is a lot of safe bet with him that people like him to have a big year this year. I like Murray a lot on the Spurs at 45. I think he could take the next step in becoming like a really good player. He's one of those guys that peaks early in the season and then doesn't really do a whole lot. And I know I have the Knicks stuff on, but I don't want to be biased. I'm just being honest. Shy, I know he's gone up a lot. He was pretty obtainable for a while. I'm not sure how much more he can really go up. So like he might be one of those guys that starts out hot in the season and then kind of comes back down. So, but I definitely those for 20. You can resell them now for 40. So I think that's smart. I do like LeVert a lot at 40. He continually could like develop and get really good with the Nets this year. Especially the Nets will be a lot better team. So he's a safe bet at $40. I do like Ayton a lot at $40 as well. Those guys that he started out high last year when he first came out, and he's kind of come back down. So now is kind of time to be buying him. Probably one of my favorites is Mitchell Robinson at 25. I just like his game a lot, and he's recognized as being a great defensive player, and like he's in a big market. So I mean, he's one of those guys like you want to be buying right now in bulk at 25. As many as you can get. I mean, he continues to get better and better, it seems. So, like, that easily could be a $40, $50 card, like, within a couple weeks. Or if he has, like, one really good game, like he did last year with a lot of blocks. Knox, I don't think goes up as much as Robinson, but a little bit. Probably, like, more so closer to 35, 40. I kind of have one right now at 20, so I'm kind of just sitting on it. Just even though I'm a Knicks fan, like, I probably would resell it if it made sense, too. But he's definitely gonna take a little more patience in Robinson. Sabonis is really cheap right now on the Pacers. You can get him for like $10. I mean, that seems like a no-brainer at $10. He had a really good year last year. I know last year is last year, but $10 that's really good. They might be a little higher, but probably I would probably be next on him. I know a lot of people like Isaac as well. He could have a good year with the Magic. They could probably hit 50. Depending on how he does, like ungraded. So I'm just kind of sticking with ungraded ones for now, just for the sake of time, just because if I have time, like I'll go back, but we'll see. I like OG Anunoby. I think that's how you say his last name. Probably the most at a tier 6. I think he's the guy here that can go up a lot more into tier 5 like really quick. So I would definitely buy a teen piece. He's going to be like this year's Siakam, and a lot of people like him a lot this year. So I would definitely buy him. Another Nick I would buy is Dennis Smith Jr. A lot of people seem to say a better player this year in market, and big market players seem to bring value. So that's easily a card that could be $40, $50. That's where we were going last year before he was even on the Knicks, and while he was still on the Knicks. So they've kind of come down this year. That's a good card to target. Malcolm Brogdon's a really good low risk investment. For $6-8 shipped, I think you can get them. That's really cheap. He's probably going to play a ton on the Pacers, so I would definitely buy them. Zach Collins I like on the Portland for $10. That's a good buy. I mean, he's seemed to have a really good year last year with the Trailblazers, so I think he could get better this year as well. Two guys to stay away from: Nerlens Noel and Kevin Looney. I think they're really overpriced right now. I wouldn't buy them. I mean, I know some people are, but I'm staying away from them. Just me personally. This guy, a lot of people seem to like on the Celtics this year. He's like a defensive guy, similar to Robinson. They're saying he might start eventually too. So I mean, if you can get a good, he would be it, like $5 or whatever you can get him for. That seems to be a really good, like, cheap investment. This guy had a really high player rating on the Wizards, Thomas Bryant, but he is a little more at 20. So I'm not sure. I wasn't sure on him. Of like people's comments, like I'm curious to see like who people like and things like that. I do like that kid on the Nets at $3 a piece, just because the Nets are going to be really good this year. So I think if you can get a guy in a good to be a starter, I think it makes sense. I mean, and this guy, I'm not sure you can find him for $1. That was only off like one comp, even though I pointed him out on my sheet here. But yeah, just like this, that could be good. I like Mo Bamba. People are saying he could be better this year. It just depends like how he develops. But yeah, I try to point out everybody. There was a PSA 10 of Dotson that sold actually the other day for like $10. But yeah, I tried most some players here. I don't have anyone obviously from this year's class because the new Prizm's not out yet. But I'm curious to see what people think and what people thought of my research based on the point. I haven't had too much success with it yet because I don't think a lot of people actually know about it, but I'm going to make more videos to promote it. So basically this book talks about everything that has to do with sports cards. It covers like every avenue, how to collect, how to buy and resell, like what to look for, different strategies on buying, like when to sell, when you should be buying, different stuff like that. And then one of the things I was just talking about was the compare and contrast. Sorry, there's like a lag. So was the compare and contrast thing. It helps you find, good value if you're able to do it with baseball, basketball, football. So like, I mean, I would appreciate if like look and see honestly what they think. I only got one review, and I don't think anyone even read it yet. But I think honestly, I think more people will really enjoy it if you enjoy sports cards. The formatting might be a little off. It's not like legible or readable. You should have no problem reading it. So I think that's it though. I'm just gonna put out some more videos throughout the year and just like continuously update my content. You can follow me again at Sports Card Man on Instagram, and also you can follow me on Twitter, which is just Sports Cards Man, is because I think the Sports Card Man was somebody I already had from a while ago. But yeah, that's gonna be it for my